All right, guys. So we've been building this web application for about 5 months. For perspective, today is 31st of August 2022, and the time is 23:36. That's 24 minutes to 12 midnight, right? Yes. So we started building this platform in March 2022. That's about 5 months ago, and the idea of this platform, the idea of this app came in 2017, 5 years ago. At that time, I was living with my friend. That's what some people call squatting. Yeah, I was squatting with my friend somewhere in Aja, and I was working on real estate content because at the time I was already selling real estate, right? And I thought to myself, what if I could earn 100,000 naira from 1,000 properties? 100,000 naira in rent from 1,000 properties, that would be 100 million naira. So even if it took me 20 years, 30 years to do that, I mean, it's something that I would want to do. And that was just one way of looking at it. And then, that was an idea, and I knew that I wanted to do this. At the time, I didn't know anything about fractional real estate, tokenization, co-ownership, and all that. I just knew that was something that would make sense. Now, in addition to owning a fraction of a property, another thing I thought of, I said, I would want a situation whereby people will be able to sell their ownership, sell that fraction of this property that they own on a market that is readily available. So you buy, and whenever you want to sell, you sell and liquidate immediately. That would be awesome. And then I thought, why not build this yourself? I thought to myself, if that's what I want, then I should build a platform that helps other people achieve this, and then I'll be able to achieve it myself as well. And then that's where the idea of Jointly came about. So this is Jointly, that's a platform called Jointly. So at the time, I didn't have the money, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the financial resources to build a platform like that. I didn't know how to run it, I didn't know nothing, but I just had the idea, hey, I want people to be able to own properties easily and sell easily. And then it took me 3 years to make the first move, on that platform. So in 2020, I called a web developer, like a software engineer, and I discussed the idea with him, and then we decided to build it. But at the time, I came to conclude that we were doing it wrongly because we were focusing on the wrong type of properties. I mean, deep down, what I really wanted people to do was own properties that produce income, not own properties that they would have to hold for a very long time before it can produce income from. But that was not what I really wanted. So I paused. I stopped building the platform then. We weren't ready, basically, right? And then 2 years after that, I went back to the idea and I worked on it again, thought about it again, and I said, okay, you know what? How about we focus on income producing properties? And how about we design these properties in such a way that it doesn't just produce income, but it gives people medium to high yield, rental income. So the average residential rental income is around, say, 5%. Some go lower than 5%. And if you are in a very good, location, you could do 6, 6.5, maybe 7, right? That's depending on how much you buy the property and where the property is located and all that. That's another discussion. But I wanted people to earn, good income. And so I thought to myself, these are the kind of properties that we are going to develop. These are the kind of properties that we are going to acquire using this platform, And then we started building the idea again. We started building the web app again in March 2022. So this time around, what we've done is that we were also able to bring in, a legal team that looked at the legal structure to help us ensure that what we were doing was right and within the ambit of the law, right? We were also able to bring in a a consultant that looked at the idea and then discussed, the idea with us. We also had time to bring in other features that will be on the platform, right? I mean, when you visit ownjointly.com, sign up and then log in, right? You would see the different features we have from the referral program to the gift cards and all that. And besides people being able to co-own properties, we also were able to, work on two other strategies, which we call the co-build and the co-lease, right? For people who want short-term benefits and mid-term benefits, So we did that too. Now, what Jointly does in a nutshell is that Jointly allows you to co-own properties and earn rent for life without having to break the bank, without putting a hole in your pocket, without having to save for years. So this is what the average person does. So you want to, that real estate is, a beautiful asset to own. It is, ever appreciating. It can continue to pay you and your family for the rest of your life. It can pay, your generations, to come. But the average person doesn't have the money to invest in real estate. Most people just decide that, okay, if I can buy one house, right, I think I'm good. Most people buy the house and live in it. Some buy land, build one for tenants, build one for themselves, and then the other one is giving them rent, maybe 2 million a year, and then at some point they can will that house to their children. But what Jointly does and to buy this house or this apartment, what most people do is that they save up for years. So in first year you save. So let's say the house you want to buy is 60 million naira, 80 million naira. You saved first year, second year, third year, fourth year. You are saving towards getting that house. And then when you now have the money, let's say you now have 50 million naira saved, you're now shopping for a house. You're shopping for a house in a neighborhood that can fit the money you have. So if when you started saving, you could buy a 2-bedroom apartment in, say, Agungi for 50 million naira, and you keep saving, by the time you're ready, you probably will not be able to buy that 2-bedroom in Agungi. You'll now be able to buy a 2-bedroom in maybe, say, Abijo for the same 50 million naira. So now you are constrained by the amount that you have, by the money you've saved. And then you've spent a whole lot of years saving this money. So what Jointly does for you now, it says, hey, provided your goal is to earn rental income, provided your goal is to own real estate and earn rental income, we've got you covered. You don't have to save for years, right? And you don't have to own real estate based on how much you have. Instead, you can own real estate in any location, in highbrow areas, any kind of real estate that produces income, and you can own it for life. So if what you have now is 500,000 naira, instead of keeping it in the bank and then playing with inflation and every other thing, right, you can use that to co-own a property today. Now, that property would start giving you rental income the moment it's operational, right? Now, besides giving you rental income, you also have to understand that the value of the property is also going to increase. So, as the value of the property increases, the value of your ownership, the value of your slot in that property also increases, right? So, you are not just earning rental income, you are also benefiting from the capital gains, from the property appreciation. Now, every year you could decide and say, you know what, I just want to put money to 2 properties, 3 properties, 4 properties, 5 properties. Think about it. If you own 2 properties or slot in 2 properties per year, every year for 10 years, let's say you put 500,000 naira in two properties, 2 different properties, that's 1 million naira every year for 10 years. In 10 years, it's more like you have purchased what now? One whole property. But the difference is that all this while you've been earning rental income, the value of your money has been appreciating because the value of the property has also been appreciating. So jointly stops that whole save money for property thing, provided what you want to, provided what you want is, rental income and not just a house you would live in, right? Now, jointly also allows you, because we one of the features that is on jointly or will be on jointly is the sell feature. So jointly allows you to sell your slots at any time on a secondary market. So when you hold a property for say 2 years, 3 years, or whenever you hold it for, and you decide that, okay, you know what, I want to sell this property, all you have to do is put it on the market on the same platform, and then you can liquidate. So it allows you buy easily, it allows you sell easily, and that's the beauty, of jointly. So I wanted to introduce this to you guys, my friends, and then all you have to do now is visit ownjointly.com. You can check us out on Instagram. You can visit, ownjointly.com. Sign up. Ask your questions if you want to, if you have questions, and then we would help you own your first income producing property, or your second, or your third, or your fourth, wherever you are on the property ladder. Collaboration, fractional investing, co-ownership, tokenization, or whatever you want to call it, of real estate is the future of real estate investing. And we are here to ensure that you come with us to the future. All right, guys, go visit ownjointly.com right now.